those very kind words. As you can imagine, just as Rabbi Lefkowitz talked about my role in the congregation has a very important role in my life. But first I want to echo the words of my friend and presidential colleague, Harriet Ann, in thanking so many people who have been on a journey with us to prepare for the unification of the newly formed Eastern District, all of the folks who worked with us on that, and the almost 50 women who worked on the planning committee to make this convention possible today, many of whom are in the room, and some are not, because their dedication to this cause was steadfast, even though circumstances in their lives prevented them from being here with us today. I also want to call out a very special thank you to all of my Beth Orr sisters who are here with us today. Not only here for the installation, but here as part of our sisterhood work in the congregation and the work of our new Eastern District as we move forward. Particularly my bonus sister, Lori Modis, who preceded me as a district president. I really want to also talk about the fact that I could not do this work without the support of my family, both currently and previously. Like so many people who have risen to district leadership, I was first a leader in my congregational sisterhood. And I remember when I was in conversation about coming on as a vice president of the Atlantic District, and people said, that's a really long commitment. They're 3-year terms, right? So it's a 9-year commitment. 3 years VP, 3 years president, 3 years immediate past. And I said, you can't scare me. I've done that already. I was a sisterhood president. We had 3 2-year terms as VPs, and then we were president, and then immediate past. I did 10 years. No problem. The other piece of this is that in preparing for convention, some folks said to me, wow, that's a lot of work. That's like a full-time job for you. And I said, that's true, but I actually already have one of those. As Rabbi Lefkowitz mentioned, my dedication to WRJ is great, and it is alongside my dedication to my professional work, currently as the executive director of a Jewish nonprofit in the Philadelphia area. And I mention it because, along with what Harriet Ann said already this evening, some of our challenge is in helping WRJ to continue to be relevant to women at all walks of life, right? Not only to folks who have been involved for many years and whose moms were involved in WRJ, and it's just sort of in the fiber of who they are, but of, women who are raising young children in the congregation and people who are professionals in the community and may or may not be synagogue affiliated. And, I have found my way to balance my WRJ roles and my other roles in the world. And I think that that's a big piece of what we need to be looking at when we think about what is it we're going to do and how are we going to do it. So speaking of how are we going to do it, I'm looking at these wonderful women who are immediately in front of me. And I want to say on behalf of Harriet Ann and myself, how thrilled we are to have you, our newly installed executive committee, as our partners in this work. And there was some talk earlier this evening about Harriet Ann and I having the strength of being two people in this role, not only one, but the strength, you know, and it's been WRJ's tagline for a long time, you know, we are stronger together. We are a community, and that's how things get done. We have each other's backs, we amplify each other's voices. So my husband will tell you that, you know, I talk a lot about what I do in WRJ because it's an important part of what I do in my life. And I'll say, oh, we're working on this, we're working on that, it's going to be a little challenging. And he's concerned, you know, is this going to be okay? Are you going to be okay doing this? And I say, absolutely. Because what I value about WRJ is that we are a community of smart, capable women. And we are also a holy community. Part of what brings us together is the faith that we share. So, as has been said already, may we go together from strength to strength.